I'm David Marshall. I'm the Vice President of Editorial and Digital. For my 3 presentations today, I'm going to do what we ask our authors to do when they submit book proposals. That's give a big idea and give the takeaway for the reader. So here's the big idea for the BK Stakeholder Survey. Listen to what your customers are saying and give them what they want. And now here's the takeaway. We're meeting customer expectations. Anyone who wants to see the full results of our survey, I'll be happy to send it to you, but what I'm going to talk about now is the highlights. So in terms of why, I was sad to hear of Stephen Covey's passing this week. One of the 7 habits of highly successful people is sharpen the saw, don't let it get dull. It's all about continuous improvement or self-renewal, and that's really what we want to do. How can we get better so we don't just rest on our laurels? When we did it this spring in the April timeframe, we had 18 questions, and we sent it out to all the BK Communique subscribers, and 65 took the survey. 70% of them were readers. So it's mostly readers who've given us this information. And in terms of what they want, we were asking questions about reader habits, volume, content, and formats. And in terms of what they want, it's interesting because it's what Steve said was true, the 10 awful truths of book publishing, that people just don't read books anymore like they used to. 43% of our own readers said that they just don't read a book from start to finish. And the good thing is we've created books to account for that it's very easy to pick up a BK book and get the big idea and the takeaways from the reader, from not necessarily reading the whole thing. What I found was fantastic is that 85% of respondents said that they use the skills and ideas they learn in BK books in their own lives, and that they also recommend them to others. And that almost a third said that they buy the books and then give them to others. And that's a great number. 1/3 of all books that our readers are buying for themselves, they're also buying extra copies for others. I'd like to even do better in that respect. From a volume point of view, most folks were okay with us doing about 35 books per year. But for those who said they wanted more or less, they said more. And they mostly said we want more like 35 to 45. So maybe up to 10 more books a year. And we're starting to do that with a lot of the digital as we're adding digital. From a content point of view, people said it's about right, and what we do now is about 50% business, 50% life, 50% business, 25% life, and 25% currents. And for those that said they wanted more, about a quarter of the people said they wanted more BK life, and a quarter said they wanted more BK currents. And in terms of format, the essay or prose was the one that got the highest votes, and that's basically your analysis, your conclusions, your next steps. It would not be case study or anthologies or parables, which we also do. So most people really like that as the format. And also they were very pro in terms of wanting more enhanced active learning books. In terms of the actual agendas, and within the agendas, what they liked, because we had about 5-6 different things that they could pick from. In BK Life, well, first of all, the thing that really jumped off the page was business. 53% said leadership and management. And this was what they most liked to see. If we also add like to see, the number went up almost to 90%. And all these numbers, if we count the top 2, were in the 70 to 80%. But if we say just what you most want, these are the numbers right here. So on BK Life, life purpose, meaning, and growth got 36%, as did coaching for individual management and executive. And then on the business side, in addition to leadership management, organizational development, and change management scored high. And then on BK Currents, community building and social and economic justice. And I think we can do more on community building. Love to do books on what Praveen was just talking about. So lastly, in terms of new agendas, people, when we asked what other agendas beside the 3 would you be interested in, we had high votes for spirituality and world religions, community neighborhoods, and health, wellness, and food. And we said, what more books would you like to see from authors that are already producing? And we got a really long list, but the ones that kept showing up the most were the Arbinger Institute and Peter Block. And we had a couple of sections for people to add their own comments. Just what do you think about Barrett-Kohler? And what can you tell us? And I wanted to read this one. It says, I see BK as the most principled book publisher in the business, with a consistent adherence to a clear set of values, rare in the business world. So the takeaway from the survey was that the mission-based agendas are really serving our customers' needs. 73% said that that makes a big difference to them in purchasing BK books, and that customers are welcoming of active learning cross-media products. And the answer, the unsolicited answer I liked the best on this was just 2 words with a big exclamation point afterwards, and it said, BK rocks.